I was in a car accident with my friend. After a night of drinking, I got in a car, and while we were driving, we hit a parked flatbed truck, and unfortunately I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, hit my head, which compressed my spine and caused injury to my spinal cord. I am a quadriplegic due to spinal cord injury, and I am paralyzed from the chest down, but I am able to move my arms, just not my fingers.
For 3 decades, thousands of stories were given life in our print room before being sent to your home. Each week, an individual walks into this room to give life to an incredible, one-of-a-kind story. These aren't your local politicians or well-known celebrities. They are everyday people, much like yourself, eager to share a piece of their lives with you.
I was fresh out of high school. I had everything going for me, a supportive family, and I had a job at a boutique selling clothes, and I was going to school for architecture at Woodbury University, and everything was fine. I mean, my strong family, friends. I had plans of graduating in 5 years and hopefully going in for a master's. I had a long, I had a relationship for 2 years at the time, and I thought I was going to get married and have kids, and everything just was so peachy and perfect in my mind. The only thing I do remember is that my friend Jesse was holding me and he was crying, asking me not to die. All I can remember was wanting to let go and actually wanting to pass. It was so surreal. I just remember just feeling at peace and wanting to pass. And if I lived, I was gonna have to fight. And if I passed, I would be at peace, and all I could think about was my family and my friends and still being young, and I made the decision to live. And the moment that I made that decision, I woke up. I woke up to my cousin standing over me, explaining what had happened, that I had been in a car accident, that my friend Jesse, even though he was in jail, he was fine. A week after I was still in the ICU, I was like, I'm not gonna get out of this easily. I knew it, because I could hear my nurses talking while I was pretending to sleep. I could hear them talking about me, poor girl, she's so young. And I was like, well, I probably just have like some broken bones, I'm gonna be fine. And then one of my nurses said, well, you could still have kids, you know, you could still be a mom. And I was like, why is she telling me this? And then after a while, it clicked. My doctor came in, and I mouthed walk because I couldn't talk. And she said, no, I wasn't gonna be able to walk. Towards the 3rd week, I remember crying because I couldn't stand it anymore. The pain of having a tube down your throat, it's just so much. So I asked them to just cut me open and put in a tube through a trach. So that was the hardest part of everything. It was just because I'm very independent and a very active person that the frustration of not being able to do things my way would just get too much and it would break me down. I shouldn't be able to breathe on my own. I shouldn't be able to move my arms. So that on its own it's a miracle. My parents were born in Mexico, and they're very strict. They're very conservative. My dad isn't a drinker. My mom never drinks. So for them to hear that their daughter got in a car accident due to being intoxicated, it was heartbreaking for them. They had given me everything. They've given me education. They've always been my support, my backbone. So when this happened, I remember feeling so much guilt, I disappointed them in the greatest possible way that I could. My mom was the one who took it the hardest. She went through depression. She couldn't sleep for a week. Not even a nap. She didn't sleep at all. But they were there at my bedside day in and day out. My dad runs his own company, and he had to work knowing that his daughter was fighting for her life in the hospital. He's always been a man who has persevered regardless of what has been put in front of him, and for him to know that I'm in a situation where I can't work out and get better, it's hard for him because he wants to find a solution to something that doesn't have one. I went into them and they asked me, what do you want to do? So I knew that I needed to learn how to use my computer again because I needed to do something immediately. I felt trapped. I felt like I couldn't do anything for myself. So I was like, at least with the computer, I can put my thoughts down on something. I learned how to draft again, how to create plans, how to draw. At COC, I learned how to paint again. And yeah, I think the hardest thing is reteaching yourself how to do everything differently. And one of the things that I really do enjoy is doing my own makeup and my own hair, and I think that was really, really frustrating because, you know, I'm a girly girl, and nurses aren't gonna know how to do that. So it was funny, I actually taught myself how to do my makeup before I taught myself how to eat. Seeing my family depressed and knowing that it was my fault, the guilt was so great, and I would cry about it. But I couldn't, the hardest thing was not being able to have a strong face in front of my parents and my friends, and knowing that I was dying inside because I felt so guilty. But I couldn't cry in front of them because then they would think that I was depressed, so I would cry by myself, and the weight of that was really, it was immense because I couldn't talk to anyone. I was given a second chance. I lived this life because I made the decision to move forward, and I am not going to take a life and let it go to waste. There's no way, because I have too much to fight for. My family first and foremost, and then my life. I see myself doing something great, so there's no way that I'm gonna just lay down and let it go to waste. There's no way. There's no possible way.